Base camp, this is Clach Glas Summit team. How do you read? Over.
Clach Glas Summit team, this is base camp. I can see you. Well done, over.
You got a grandstand view, Stephen?
Roger that. Just saw you summiting about 5 minutes ago, and I used the high zoom camera to get a quick video of Murray's yellow trousers, over.
Yellow breaks, unmistakable. So the next video you've got to do is called the Imposter, which is a bit scary, I believe. So that's our next challenge.
Today's adventure sees us attempting one of Scotland's best mountaineering routes on one of Scotland's best mountains, and it was something that neither of us had done before, and we were really looking forward to it. So let's go back a few hours to the start of the adventure when we were heading in, full of anticipation. Right. Hello people, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time you're watching this. And today is something I've been wanting to do for years and years and years. I don't know about yourself, Gerry, but
it's been on the list for a long time.
So this, I'm really excited about this. If you watched last week's video, you'll have seen that the weather window hadn't arrived, which caused us to turn around just 20 metres from the summit, just because it was manky and slippy and horrible. But today, the weather window has arrived and it's closing back in later on, so we're home to do this with the sun shining. So we're not going to be loitering too much. A few bits to camera and then...
Not least of all because I've just been clegged.
Clegs are out. So we'll get going and we'll report back a wee bit further up and reveal where we are. Many of you will already know and will probably have guessed where we're going.
Onwards.
As you may have noticed, we were actually on the Isle of Skye, one of my favourite places. And we were on the Black Coulan, but not the main Black Coulan ridge. We were on a mountain called Bla Bheinn and hoping to do the mountaineering route, the Clach Glas to Bla Bheinn traverse. And as I said, due to the weather window that we had, we decided to head up it from the Bealach and head straight up into the difficulties from there. The weather was looking good and we headed up into the quarry towards the stone chute. Well, I tell you what, it's warm. Toasty, so we're heading towards this notch in the skyline up this quarry. There's a wee bit of scree at the top, but yeah, it's warm, so we're going to stop here. I'm going to get a bite to eat, and we've actually we've got a radio with us because we've got a third cameraman. Possibly, you might see some footage later on.
Ground crew,
from base camp. You might be able to do some footage of us, so we're going to radio him to tell him where we are so he can get himself in position. So yeah, we'll report back in a wee while after we've had a bite to eat. So
excellent.
Right, let me just...
Team, this is base camp. Radio check strong. What's your location, over?
Reading you 5, Stephen. We are currently about 200 metres below the Bealach. We'll keep the radio on once we get on the ridge, over.
Roger that. Out.
Right, shall we? Up we go. Right, we are making our way up. You can see round in the quarry actually. We're getting closer to the notch, but my god, it's steep. And there's a lot of scree. If you don't like scree, it's not the place for you to be. So yeah, we just need to traverse across here. Then when we get up to the Bealach, that's where we'll gear up and the climbing begins. So yeah, what a place though. Look at this. We've made it to the Bealach. There's Gerry over yonder. Woohoo! And that's where we've come up that steep scree slopes. It looks grassy there, but literally it was scree most of the way down. And this is where we're going, but we came up and we got a great view. Let me just show you this view. This is the view of the Coolin Ridge, the main Coolin Ridge over there. Isn't that wonderful? Absolutely beautiful. The whole ridge lying beneath us. But anyway, it's not that ridge we're going up. It's this one over my shoulder. So yeah, we're going to get geared up here, and then we'll get cracked on. So we'll report back later on.
I don't know, 100 metres to the top. I'm currently at the waterfall. I'll make my way around the corner and I might be able to get a shot of you.
Okay, that's understood. Stephen, we're just going to go silent for a wee while here as we get geared up and get established on the ridge. They'll team out.
So I've brought some rather appropriate hill snacks, chocolate.
Saying that, yeah.
Can you know what it is? You know what it is, but these guys might not know what it is. So I'll tell them now.
I think it should be on something higher.
What, for the hill snack?
For the big reveal, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, we'll not reveal just yet. See if you can guess what it is. It's chocolate. It's not Scotch egg, although I do have Scotch eggs with me. Right, let's get our stuff set. So the other thing I'll maybe just mention just now is I'll only be using the big camera when we're on safe ground. So for all the bits where I'm climbing, if you see any footage, I'll be on my 360 camera with a voiceover. It's just got to be safe. So for now, probably until we get to the top of the first mountain, which is called Clach Glas. Clack Glas.
Clack Glas.
Clack Glas, not Gla Cla.
Clacks.
So yeah, when we get to the top of that, there's a bit of climbing before then. So yeah, let's cut to
and after then.
and after that. But we'll report back in the top of Clack Glas, and yeah, really looking forward to this. Let's get geared up and get cracked on. From the Bealach, you're almost immediately into scrambling territory, and the ridge is very reminiscent of the main Black Coolin Ridge. Lots of rocky steps and concentration required, and those views back over to the rest of Skye are just absolutely amazing. After some scrambling, we found ourselves at the base of the Clach Glas Tower and the final ascent up to this peak, which required us to rope up and get ready for some climbing. Oh, here we go.
I think we're at the top of the platform rib and we're just about to go on to Clack Glas, which is a moderate route. So we're just going to pitch it.
Yeah, so it's been great. Nice wee bit of climbing. I've looked behind Gerry here and see sort of where we've come, but over there we didn't go over Sgurnaich.
Yeah.
We didn't do that yet because of the weather. When you see it's getting a wee bit cloudy, so we're just going to.
So we're going to get moving.
Going to get moving. So yeah, we can see where we're going up here. This is the start of the moderate climb up to Clack Glas, and then we've got the big boy to head up. So yeah, I'm going to belay Gerry going up here, and then we'll report back in the top of Clack Glas. Right, let's put this away.
Okay, let's go.
This footage shows where we were at this time point, and Gerry led the way up, followed by myself. And as I said, I had the 360 camera on, so apologies for people that don't like it, but it's the only really way that I can record this footage, because I needed my hands obviously to stay on the rocks. But it was lovely. It was a moderate climb. There was some protection which Gerry put in, and we headed up. And after a short period of time, we found ourselves on the surprisingly flat summit of Clach Glas, and what a place this is. There's also an interesting notch you can step over with a couple of 1,000 feet right under your feet. What a wonderful place. And from below you can see the kind of flat top, and this is just some footage that was shot on an amazingly zooming camera. Yeah, some range on it, and you can see me. That's me actually setting up the camera up there. But you can see the route from the Bealach. It's just a short distance, but scrambling and sustained climbing is required. Anyway, back to me setting up. I think I'm having a Scotch egg here and setting the camera up. Right, that's us at the top of Clack Glas. Clack Glas.
We've had that conversation, we're not.
Clack Glas. Yeah, so we're on the top of this now, and what a viewpoint. I'll put some footage up now of what we're looking at, but I don't think there's many finer viewpoints in Britain than this.
How many times have we said that?
Yeah, that's true. A little bit biased. So yeah, we're in terms of the we've done the first kind of moderate climbing section, and then still more to come.
Do you know what? It looked crazy, but it was fine.
It was all there.
It was just you're looking at it from below, and it looked surely not, but in fact it was just. I think we put in one bit of gear, 2 bits of gear, something like that.
And it's the gabbro as well. So as opposed to that sort of slimy polished stuff last night, this is lovely and grippy, and
Yeah.
it's a delight. So yeah, we're gonna have a wee snack here. I'll reveal what my. Can you
We
guess?
should tell them that Clach Glas is known as the Matterhorn of Skye.
Which might be appropriate for my treat.
Yes.
So my treat is, are you watching? Are you seeing? Can you see this?
Oh, look at that. Well, that's a big boy.
I know, just wanted to carry extra weight.
Excellent.
In the van. Do you want
I'll help you reduce the weight with that.
Yeah. Right, we're going to have some Toblerone, that's what I've got. So
Some Clack
Yeah.
Glas bar.
Clack Glas, indeed. Right.
Turn the mics off for the tune.
No, viewers like that. Love it when we chew and eat.
Got your mouth.
There you are, Squat.
Well, thank you
Have
very
some
much.
of that. Have a mountain of chocolate.
We'll have a couple of chunks. Right.
Having sat at the summit for a wee while, it was time to move on, and probably some of the most difficult climbing was still ahead of us. And immediately, having left the flat-topped summit of Clach Glas, it was time for a down climb, down something called the Imposter. And you can see here on this, again, this zoomed in footage from below, Gerry leading down the Imposter, and yeah, it really did require a lot of care, as did most of the route, to be honest with you. Don't know if I'd fancy doing this if it was icy or slippy, but the rock was kind of grippy, and you had to put your faith in the grip. At the bottom of the Imposter there's a narrow arete, but getting down onto that arete is the trickiest part. I thought was the trickiest part of the whole route, and you can see Gerry's on this point here. The slope just steepens and you can't see any foot placements, and the ones that are there are all sloping the wrong way. But again, you just have to put faith in the friction of the gabbro, and once you make that step down, it's not too bad. And this is the view back to the Imposter. The bit that we'd just come down. Along we went, along another arete. You can see here it was pleasant, and then you can also see from down below just what it was looking like. A few more tricky down climbs were required, and navigation was actually quite keenly required in this section before we dropped down to a section that is known as Bealach Tower. And again, it's just another sensational place to be. And we nipped up to the top for a view before skirting back round and down that kind of brown shaped ledge. Just sits thousands of feet above the ground. It's an exposed and beautiful place to climb. climbing down and round the Bealach Tower is just, as I said before, absolutely fantastic, and the views are just amazing. It really is. Just you have to pinch yourself to realise where you are at this point. Anyway, after that you reach a bit called the putting green, and it's probably about the only bit of grass on the whole mountain. It provides a wee bit of relief because there's some more sustained climbing coming up. So we descended down the putting green and saw a nice pile of rocks where we sat to have a bite to eat and do a bit to camera. Right, so we've stopped. You can see behind us one of the prows. Now I don't know if it's a great prow or whether it's Gerry's prow or whether it's Murray's prow.
I probably can't see, and you hear me jumping away.
Yeah, you've got your mic on? Is it on?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, mic's on, is it? Mic,
Yeah, mic is on.
mic is on, so yeah.
I think this is a great player Bla Bheinn, which has got a, I don't know, hard VS route on it or something.
That looks quite like a great prow as well though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's where we're going in a minute.
But if you've watched the videos in the past, you know that there's prow envy goes on, so we better not get into that. We'll end up fighting on whose prow was better last time we were up.
I give in.
I think my prow was better, to be honest with you. Right, I'm going to have, guess what I'm going to have to eat? Not a Toblerone, but right, so, did we say we were on the putting green?
We're on the putting green.
I won,
Yeah.
10 under par,
You
Gerry
cheated,
was 30 over.
He's cheated.
I cheated, I brought a golf club with me, that thing that's been sticking out my back.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the only thing you didn't bring.
You might be able to make, sorry I was just going to say, you might be able to make out where we've come down. It was quite complex ground if you don't know it, isn't it?
Route finding was difficult. That was the hardest bit of route finding on the route so far. However, what remains is to go up onto Bla Bheinn now, and there's two pitches. There's this 5 metre wall and then the 20 metre chimney, which I think we can see. So yeah, we're nearly there.
We're nearly them, but still need to concentrate a bit.
Using the rope properly on the pitches.
Yeah.
Instead of just dragging it about with us.
Yeah, we've been pitching it, so. But it's lovely and dry. What a place. It's just hard to beat this sort of stuff. So we're going to get the ropes back sorted, get our bags on, and then head, hopefully. Next time I'll report to this camera will be on the tourist path or the walker's path to the summit.
I hope so.
A short climb up some grass saw us at what some people call the crux of the route, which is a short 5 metre wall graded at diff, but wasn't too bad before moving on to the big chimney. Hey, we're just at the last graded climb. It's a chimney, 25 metre chimney, so Gerry's just getting geared up, but you can see behind me where we've come from over Clach Glas and down to the putting green, and it's quite a steep. Yeah, it's been quite a steep wee pull up here, the wee climb over the crux, which is a 5 metre wall. So yeah, it's lovely. We're nearly, once we get up here, I'll be onto the track to the summit of Bla Bheinn. So maybe do some footage of Gerry heading up this climb. The chimney was lovely and provided just a fantastic way to finish the route before going back up and onto the walking route to the top of Bla Bheinn. That was superb, wasn't it?
It was good, it was good.
Absolutely brilliant. So that's us just finished the last pitch, which is up the chimney, and we're on the tourist path now.
The tourist path, hey, we're tourists.
Or maybe the walking path, because it is quite rocky up here.
Aye,
So we're going to take a wee donder up to the summit. It's maybe another couple of 100 metres ascent. It was well just doing that and getting the view.
Oh, well,
we've seen the views.
I don't want people saying we didn't go to the top.
But what a day, and the weather's held out for us. So we'll report back when we get to the top. Right, let's get all this gear away, make the bags heavy again.
Go.
Just off the summit of Bla Bheinn, which is busy, isn't it?
Quite busy, quite a few, about a dozen people maybe.
Yeah, but we were quite lucky when we came and did the Clack Glas route, because we were early. There's nobody
We had it
behind
to
us.
ourselves, we moved at our own pace, and
Yeah, it's nice.
it's good when there's nobody breathing down your neck or
No,
whatever.
absolutely. It was absolutely brilliant. I think it's one of the best days I've had in a long time.
Aye,
It's just
super.
great fun, wasn't
Proper mountaineering day, a bit of route finding,
it? Yeah.
a bit of exposed scrambling, and a couple of wee tricky down climbs and stuff.
Yeah,
it's good.
it's good. We took we had the rope with us and we used it.
Yeah.
And the views, the place, it's just an amazing place. We were up here. I've got some drone footage of when I was up here last, which I'll stick up just now. But you can actually see over to the Inpin. If only it was like this last night.
That's where we were last night. Until I decided it was too wet and cold to go for the last wee bit.
I know. Well, yeah, it wasn't much fun. It wasn't like today. It's been great fun. So, yeah, I don't know if we might end up down for a swim, mightn't we? So we'll not end the video here because we'll see. There's maybe somebody we need to introduce you to.
Aye.
Possibly.
Aye,
if he wants to be in the film. If not, then you'll never see this. But
and if we do go for a swim, then it'll be what, PG or something. 18 or something.
Well,
horror.
You've not seen the boxer shorts I've got on me.
The Hammer House of Horror.
They'll be able to video it because it'll be too bright. I think these yellow trousers are bright. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Anyway, right, we'll report back in a wee while. We'll head down.
Let's go.
Yeah. Right, I'm doing my handheld. We've got 2 mics and we've got the third member of the team here, so Stephen's been an absolute star.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you've been down here for about 4 or 5 hours, haven't you?
That's right, Murray.
Telephoto shots.
Yeah. It's thanks to this guy here.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So you see Stephen's name in the credits at the end of this.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll put you in the credits, Stephen. So
and he's
thank you very much.
opened up a whole new world of steaming boots. Now
we're
going
to
to
you on every trip now.
every trip.
From the mountain opposite the one that you're climbing.
So thank you very much.
No, you're very welcome.
Thanks again.
You might have seen Stephen in some earlier clips doing the base camp stuff, but brilliant. Super.
Yeah, no,
I'm really looking forward to
pleasure.
seeing the footage show.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go and find a pool to dip in now.
We're going to go and get into this river, I
And
think.
you know what? The colour of my boxer shorts, these guys think I'm joking. You're not getting any footage of this, so I'm going to end the video here.
With the colour of your boxer
You've not
shorts?
seen them yet, honestly, they're not brown, they're not brown.
Aye, it wasn't nice.
They're bright colours, but
Right, okay.
thanks for watching, stay classy.
Oh,
Eldol,
no.
Broadford.
What peninsula is this again? This is the...
Strathairt.
Strathairt. Stay classy, Strathairt. Stephen has it.
He's got it.
Lock slapping.
Perfect. Right, we'll see you in the
Perfect.
next one, guys. So we went for a wee duke, which was lovely. And just before I finish the video, I just want to say a big massive thank you to Stephen for taking all that extra footage. It really came out superb. I think you can all agree that it's added so much to this video. Anyway, until the next time, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next adventure.